Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I am Milk, and this is Milk Astrology, and this is also Pancake. I realized that when I was introducing Barnaby in my last video, I didn't actually show you guys my other dog, which was kind of rude of me. We're going to be doing a weekly tarot video for the zodiac signs. I prefer that you apply your moon sign, but you can apply your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mercury, whichever. So yeah. Okay, so for fixed signs, I have the Eight of Swords, reverse, and then the Star upright, Page of Pentacles, King of Swords, Knight of Wands. So basically, long story short, this week is about you guys learning to kind of get rid of some of the negative internal dialogue. Now, there's a lot going on astrologically this week, so I do feel like I'm not going to make it sound like you're going to be singing Kumbaya and roasting marshmallows with your insecurities this week, but you are going to be reaching a point where I think you're just tired of feeling like other people's opinions and input kind of overly dictate what you do, and I think this is kind of moving you or pushing you towards a different direction. I also feel like there's a lot of themes around essentially embracing like a new opportunity. I feel like you're kind of letting go of like people holding you back from what you want. I think you've reached a point where you're just tired of letting so many inputs and opinions kind of determine your judgment and where you're going to go next. Because I feel like for a really long time, or at least in the past few weeks, you've been really just like so much letting anyone have an opinion about your life that I think now it's just like white noise. Like you're kind of at a point where you're ready to just drown everything out and do what you want to do. I don't think this is something that's come easy. Like I think it's taken you kind of like reaching a point of being fed up with people's criticism or people's input, and I think it leads you to like push yourself outside of your comfort zone more fully. And again, I definitely feel like it's, I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but I do feel like it feels unnatural, because it's like, say for example, you're someone who is always letting everyone in your household use your car, and say you never get to, and you usually are always asking what anyone needs that day before you were to take your own car. Well, it seems like metaphorically speaking, you're just taking your own car and going where you want to go that day, and you're not really consulting how other people feel about it. I also kind of feel like you're at a point where you're done just like doing charity work for unappreciative people. I'm not saying that this means like you're going through a villain era where you just are like shutting people out and not doing anything with other people in mind, but I do feel like you're just tired of certain kinds of criticisms or feedback. Again, I do have this star, so I feel like ironically enough, when you start pleasing yourself and doing what strongly benefits you and what you need, you're going to notice things come easier to you. I think when you start approaching things with like, I don't need your opinion, this is how I feel and this is what I'm validating, I think you're going to be surprised at like how quick people are to kind of change their attitude with you and not so much feel like they are entitled to you or your energy. I feel like they're actually more willing to communicate or respect your boundaries instead of like you kind of having to abide by the rules and terms that other people set for you. I feel like you're now kind of setting your own rules, setting your own terms, and I feel like it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. Like you're feeling a lot more at peace with yourself. So that seems to be like the general vibe or consensus for the week. Let me see if there are any other messages coming out. I do have like King of Swords, so I feel there is something about you learning something, and I think this could be why you reach this point of confidence. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily like you are just super confident and really feeling yourself this week, or it's mainly just something about you coming to terms with the fact that you no longer need certain people's input. Maybe you learn something about someone in your life and it makes you just see things differently, and it's kind of like, wow, I've put so much validation and time into like what they want me to be, but it's like I don't even want to be like them, so am I letting them determine who I'm going to become? You know, that's kind of the vibe. Yeah, okay, so I do have Two of Swords, and I think that's kind of, Spirit wants you to know there might be a conflict this week. There might be some pushback. When you start like no longer giving people the power over you to give them approval of your life or give them feedback over your life, and you start kind of calling your own shots, it really is kind of like a reset for people. It's kind of like they have to recalibrate their opinions of you because they're so used to kind of having so much power over you that I think it can be damaging for people's ego. I'm not trying to make it sound like everyone is out to get you or everyone has like bad intentions towards you this week, but I do feel like people have to take a step back and realize like their place in a sense, and I think that could lead to like some people being really over opinionated or just kind of petty, and essentially it's like it's not really your problem. It's genuinely a them problem, and I think that's something that you're going to have to kind of go through the motions of. You might have pushback, but you have to keep actively choosing you and choosing what you feel validates you, and not like falling into what you think is pleasing someone around you, because that's not working for you anymore. And I think that's like basically the biggest theme of what's going on this week. So if you like this, please give it a thumbs up, and all of my social medias are linked down below if you want to follow me, and I will see you in my next video. So this reading is for, I believe that was my fixed signs, so that was Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius. This reading is for my cardinal signs. Cardinal signs have a lot going on. There's this weird theme about you guys right now where you keep giving something too many second chances and it's not working for you. And it's making you kind of stay on a hamster wheel, like you're waking up and repeating the exact same day every single day, and like you're not really altering or changing anything about your routine. You're just kind of stuck going through the motions of like doing what you think you have to do, or doing like what you feel you have to do out of obligation. I feel like you've gotten into the habit for so long of doing what you feel people need from you that I feel like you've stopped kind of asking yourself what you want. I don't know, I kind of feel like you're just like accepting less than you deserve in a sense. And again, I do feel like you're giving too many second chances to a circumstance or situation or person in your life this week. And I think by the end of the week, you do end up making a change. You do end up going in a new direction. You do end up shaking out of your comfort zone. And I think it's actually shocking for you, because as much as you have known that you need to make this change, I feel like it's also kind of like you weren't expecting to actually do it in a sense. It's kind of like, yeah, everyone at the back of their head knows like maybe they should look for another job or something, but the actual act of doing it can be so much different than thinking or toying with the idea, if that makes sense. And this week is really about you taking yourself more seriously. However, with that being said, I do have the Hermit and the Sun reversed, as well as Nine of Swords upright. So I do feel like a lot of tension is around overworking, over responsibilities, like carrying a lot of burdens on your back, trying to kind of like have everything together or do everything for everyone around you. And I feel like it's really draining for you. Like you're not really leaving a lot of room for yourself. I also have the High Priestess reversed. So when the High Priestess is reversed, I'm kind of feeling like you are putting so much time and energy into, again, what other people want versus what you want. And the issue with this is you are a very compassionate person. You're someone that always wants to like stop what you're doing to help other people. But the problem with this is when you're so charitable, you can't show up for yourself. So it's kind of like, as much as you're trying to be as helpful as possible to your family or to your friends or to your loved ones, if you are constantly giving everything you have to everyone around you, you're not going to have anything at the end of the day. It's kind of like you can't help people around you if you can't help yourself. So that seems to be like a huge message for the week, where it's just kind of you needing to break away from a habit or a routine that has you very complacent in your life, and you need to start doing more things for yourself. Honestly, this whole spread to me is like you need to go on a vacation, you need to hang out with your loved ones, because this whole spread is kind of like you're trying as hard as possible to be the most responsible person in the room. But it's kind of like, why is that the role that you've assigned yourself? You don't always need to be the most responsible person in the room. Sometimes you just need to be someone that's fun and young and youthful and wants to have a good time. Like, you're allowed to do those things. You have the rest of your life to be responsible, and I think just because you have fun doesn't mean that you're taking away your responsibilities or obligations. It just means you're helping yourself decompress so that you can actually work harder when you try to work and achieve your goals in a better or more fulfilling way. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe. Let me shuffle to see if there's any other like last minute messages coming out. Again, by the end of the week, I definitely feel like you are going into a new direction in your life. You're going to be a lot happier or better for it. I do feel like you're trying as much as possible as you're trying to like please other people. You begin to start noticing you need to please yourself too, and you need to start doing things for yourself. I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of guilt weighing you down though. Like, I have Eight of Swords reversed, and it's just like, as much as you're trying to do things for yourself, you keep thinking about how things are benefiting other people, or what other people think about you doing things for yourself, or if you're being judged. And that's what's kind of getting you by the end of the week. It's like you're trying to do something for yourself, but the whole time you're doing it, it's like the experience is kind of being sabotaged because you're not really present. You're like worried mentally about people talking shit or something. And my only question with this is like, what people are you surrounding yourself with lately that leave you feeling like you can't do things for yourself, or like they're going to have some kind of issue with you relaxing? That seems to be a counter question that is popping up. So overall, that completes this week. Basically, go on a vacation, do something for yourself, treat yourself, decompress. When you're like feeling bad about not being productive, your version of not being productive is still more productive than a lot of other people. And I think you need to hear that this week. So yeah, if you liked this, all my social media links are down below. I do one-on-one tarot readings if you want to sign up for Patreon, and I also now do live readings with clients again if you want to bio a session with me, and I will see you in my next video. So this reading is for my mutable signs. Okay, I have 6 of Wands reversed, I have 9 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, the World, 2 of Pentacles, and 3 of Cups reversed. So I kind of have the impression that this week people are giving you shit. Maybe you do something, maybe you say something, and people are just like looking at you in a very like speculative way. It might even feel like, in a metaphorical sense, not literal. Don't get scared by this. I feel like you metaphorically get like canceled in a sense by your peers, or by your friend group, or by your social group. And the thing I want to say about this is, from my personal opinion with the spread, it looks like your friends or the people who are canceling you are kind of jerks. Like, it doesn't look like the people who are trying to point something out about you are in their right mind, or like that they are as positive and peaceful or high and mighty as they might appear to you. I kind of feel like the trash is taking itself out for you in a sense. I feel like you might have some people leaving your life this week, but it also might be incredibly healthy for you. Because I see that you've been trying so hard to just like be everywhere at once, or do everything at once. Like you're trying to like go to your friends, 2 different friends' birthday parties in one day, and work a double at work, and help your coworker out who's not feeling well, like bringing them soup. Like you're trying to just like be everything for everyone. And the problem with this is I kind of feel like it's like nice guys finish last this week. It's kind of like you overly being present for other people doesn't necessarily leave space for you to take care of yourself. I have said this to like other people, other zodiac signs this week. So there is a huge central theme of like almost every zodiac sign this week not being there or present for themselves. But I feel like your spread is more of like you're trying to be liked or fit in by like with a certain crowd, and it was never really your crowd in the first place. Like it was never meant to be your group of people, and I think it feels hurtful. I feel like you're confused because I feel like you're like, God, I really wanted to fit in, or we have the same interests, why can't we just be friends? And I think something that's kind of like a hard pill to swallow, especially like with growing up in general, is like you can have similar interests with certain people and they can still just be people that aren't really good for you. And that sucks because it's like obviously you have good intentions. I feel like you just want to bond with people, but you're doing more than you should. Like you're trying to be too accessible to people around you, and I think that they are kind of taking advantage of how kind you are being. I don't really think that they deserve your niceness, and I feel like by the end of the week, I feel like it's better for you to just focus on your own hobbies, your own interests, and not so much like trying to reach out and gain any kind of approval or acceptance from anyone. And it's not necessarily because you're not going to have any friends or anything by the end of the week. I don't see that being the case. I don't see some huge cancellation. I just see like certain people kind of rubbing you the wrong way, or just like kind of showing their true colors. And I think it's more of just a vibe of you being disappointed, but at the same time, like, your real friends are not going to make you feel nervous about your friendship with them. Like, you're not going to feel panicky if you don't hear from someone that day, or if they, I don't know, if they don't hear from you that day. Like, it's going to be more secure than that. And I think, like, any of these like weird, insecure, funky friendships where you feel like you have to like overly do things for them that like leave you feeling drained. I feel like Spirit is just kind of saying, hey, like, let them leave. They aren't the best for you. They can be great people and you can be a good person, but sometimes just two good people trying to mesh well can sometimes bring out bad versions of them. It has nothing to do with anyone being a bad guy or a good guy. And I think that's just kind of like the struggle this week that you have to accept. Worry less about big groups of people that you feel are judging you, and worry more about liking and accepting yourself. Your real friends are going to show themselves this week just as much as your flighty situationships are going to show themselves out this week. So that seems to be the vibe. I do one-on-one tarot readings affordably on Patreon, and I have live tarot sessions with clients now again. So if you want to book anything with me, links are down below. Social media links are down below. And I'll see you in my next week's video.